How to stop overthinking everything. 9 Stoic techniques. It is 2 in the morning, and your brain has decided this is the perfect time to replay a conversation from 3 days ago, word by word, wince by wince. You rewrite what you said. You imagine what they thought. You rehearse a future argument that will never happen. Sound familiar? That loop has a name. It is overthinking, and 2,000 years ago, the Stoics were already treating it like the disease it is. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire while plagues and wars pressed in from every side. Seneca advised emperors and survived exile. Epictetus was born a slave. These men had real reasons to lie awake at night, and yet they built a system for shutting the loop down. Here are 9 of their techniques, translated for your restless mind. Technique 1. Separate facts from judgments. Epictetus taught that people are not disturbed by events, but by their opinions about events. That single idea is the foundation of everything else. When your mind starts spinning, pause and ask, what actually happened here, and what am I adding to it? Say your boss replies to your carefully written email with one word, fine. The fact is 5 letters on a screen. The judgment is, she hates my work, I am about to be fired, I never should have sent it. Notice how the fact is small and the story is enormous. Overthinking almost never chews on facts. It chews on interpretations. So strip the event down to what a camera would have recorded. 9 times out of 10, the bare fact is boring. Boring is good. Boring does not keep you up at night. Technique 2. Remember that you suffer more in imagination than in reality. Seneca wrote to his friend Lucilius that we suffer more often in imagination than in reality, and that many of our torments never actually arrive. Think about the last 10 things you lost sleep over. How many actually happened the way you feared? The presentation where you imagined freezing up. You got through it. The awkward text you agonized over. They replied with a thumbs up. Your imagination is a horror writer with an unlimited budget, and you keep buying tickets to its films. So when a catastrophe plays in your head, label it out loud. This is imagination, not reality. That one sentence creates a gap between you and the fear. Reality sends its own invoice when it arrives. Do not pay it twice in advance. Technique 3. Use the dichotomy of control as a sorting machine. Epictetus opened his handbook with the most practical sentence in ancient philosophy. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. Your judgments, your effort, your choices, up to you. Other people's opinions, the past, the outcome of your job interview, not up to you. Now use this as a sorting machine for every anxious thought. You sent the application. Waiting for the reply. Not yours. Preparing answers for a possible interview. Yours. Wondering whether the recruiter liked your photo. Not yours, let it fall. Take the thought currently looping in your head and drop it into one of 2 boxes, mine or not mine. Act on the first box. Release the second. Overthinking is usually just your mind pacing around the box that was never yours. Technique 4. Set a decision deadline. A huge share of overthinking is simply a decision you refuse to finish. Should you take the new job? Should you send that message? You gather one more opinion, one more article, one more sleepless night, telling yourself you are being thorough. You are not being thorough. You are being afraid. The Stoics prize decisiveness because life is short and the time you spend deliberating is subtracted from the time you have for living. Seneca warned that while we postpone, life speeds by. So give the decision a deadline that matches its size. Choosing lunch. 30 seconds. Choosing a job. 1 week, written on your calendar. When the deadline hits, decide with the information you have, then commit. A decent decision made today beats a perfect one that never arrives. Technique 5. Rehearse the worst once, then close the file. The Stoics practiced premeditatio malorum, the deliberate rehearsal of what could go wrong. Seneca advised setting aside time to picture setbacks in advance, so that nothing catches you unprepared. But notice the design. It is a scheduled exercise, done once, with a beginning and an end. It is not a loop. There is a world of difference between a fire drill and a fire alarm that never stops ringing. So take the thing you fear, your talk going badly, the client saying no, and walk through it deliberately one time. What exactly happens? What would you do next? Who would you call? What is step 1 of recovery? Write it down. Then close the file. If the fear knocks again tonight, tell it plainly, already handled, the plan is on paper. Technique 6. Return to the task in front of you. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself to do the task at hand with focus, as if it were his last, without letting his mind wander to 1,000 other things. He also noted that the present moment is the only thing anyone can truly lose or truly live. Overthinking is almost never about the present. It is a commuter train running between the past and the future, and you are the only passenger. The exit is embarrassingly simple. Ask, what is the task directly in front of me? Then do only that. Washing dishes. Feel the water. Writing a report. Write the next sentence, not the whole career it might affect. Your hands work in the present even when your head refuses to. Follow your hands. The mind eventually gets bored of running the empty train and comes back. Technique 7. Ask, will this matter in a year? Marcus Aurelius constantly practiced the view from above, zooming out to see his problems against the scale of time itself. Whole cities, he reminded himself, have risen, flourished, and vanished, along with everyone who worried inside them. You do not need an empire to use the trick. Take the thought you are currently grinding on, say, the slightly awkward joke you made in the meeting, and run it through 3 questions. Will this matter in a week? In a year? In 10 years? Most worries fail the 1-week test. Almost all fail the 1-year test. And if something genuinely passes, congratulations, you have found a real problem worth real planning, not rumination. Zooming out does not make you careless. It makes you accurate about size, and worry hates accurate measurement. Technique 8. Journal to empty your head. Marcus Aurelius wrote the Meditations for an audience of exactly one, himself. It was not literature. It was maintenance, a nightly clearing of the mental workshop. Seneca described a similar habit, reviewing his day each evening, asking himself what he did well and what he could correct, then sleeping peacefully afterward. Here is why this beats thinking in circles. A looping thought feels urgent because your brain is afraid of dropping it. Paper solves that. Once a worry is written down, the mind quietly stops guarding it. So tonight, take 10 minutes. Write the worry exactly as it sounds in your head, then write 1 sentence about what, if anything, you will do tomorrow. That is the whole practice. You are not writing for history. You are taking out the trash. Technique 9. Act. Motion is the cure for rumination. Here is the final and most important move. The Stoics were not cave-dwelling meditators. They were senators, soldiers, teachers, and merchants. Marcus Aurelius told himself to stop debating what a good man should be and simply be one. Rumination survives on postponement, and action starves it. The moment you take even one concrete step, the loop loses its fuel, because the question is no longer hypothetical. Worried about your health? Book the checkup now, today, in the next 5 minutes. Anxious about the unfinished project? Open the file and work for 10 minutes. Afraid the friendship is fading? Send the message. Small does not matter. Direction matters. You cannot think your way out of overthinking, and the Stoics knew it. You act your way out, one deliberate move at a time. So here is where it all lands. Overthinking feels like preparation, but it is really just fear wearing a business suit. The Stoics saw through the costume. Strip events down to facts. Refuse to suffer in imagination. Sort what is yours from what is not. Decide on a deadline, rehearse the worst exactly once, and return to the work in front of you. Measure your worries against a year, empty your head onto paper at night, and above all, move. You do not need a marble statue's calm by tomorrow morning. You need one technique, applied once, today. Pick the one that stung a little when you heard it. That sting is usually the signal. 2,000 years of philosophy comes down to a single quiet truth. The loop breaks the moment you stop feeding it.